Welcome back to another video, and today we got a whole new project we're starting. We're building a timber framed kind of pergola shelter, whatever you want to call it, over top of this concrete slab that we poured in a previous video that I will link to if you're interested. Here's some images of a different one of these that I built a couple years ago, and this is kind of what I'm going for. So we're doing kind of a timber framed-esque style without actually true timber framing. Everything's just screwed together, and then it'll all be screened in at the end. Okay, so I'm mounting these, and I can't measure off of this face because they had put a rock face liner on there. So I set the other side down at the end because that has two square sides, and I'm going to measure off that to set this one. These are 5/8 inch anchor bolts that I'm drilling for. These are just wedge anchors. They're not like epoxied in. They just use friction essentially. You pound them in, then when you tighten them back up, it pulls a little wedge so they can't come back out. I like to drill all the way through. In case you screw one up or something, you can pound it through and it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I got my tool on the riverside out on the edges, and then I ran a string to get these ones straight. And it's worth noting that I set this up when I cut these lines to not be where my posts are going to go. So my posts are just going to go just off the side of the control joints, so I'm not trying to put a bolt right in the control joint. I will have this problem on the two ends because I wanted to cut the control joint right in the middle. I thought it was going to look silly if it wasn't. So we'll tackle that when we get there. Alright, I'm ready to put up my first post. I got a brace down to a pin. I'll hold it temporarily. Alright, one down and like a bunch more to go. Okay, I'm on to build these middle posts, and I have this control joint here. So rather than using this middle hole, I drilled two holes that I can use to mount this, so I'm not drilling right into that. It's still kind of close. An epoxy anchor would probably be better here, but this will work. Okay, so we got this side done. I put up the post over here, and now we can measure for the top. So I'm mitering these to go on the top, so I just got to take a measurement and cut 2 miters on it, and we'll put that one up, and then we can mark for our middle post. Before you mark, it's good to see if there's a side you like or don't like. I like this side the best, so I'll make that the face. Which means I gotta put a mark like this. So cut that, flip it, cut it again. Alright, that's what we're looking for, where you see no real discernible difference in plane. I do have a 10-inch circular saw, I just haven't brought it up here yet, so this one works, just can't cut it through 2 passes. Okay, now that we got our board for the top cut, we can now measure and cut our haplap joint. So this is what we're going for. I did this side already. So essentially, I got to cut half of each piece out, and then they nest together. So to get the measurement for that, I'm just measuring the post base on the bottom, because whatever the bottom is, the top should be the same. Okay, to get the measurement for the middle post, as far as where the notch has got to be for height, I've got a string tied from this post to this post so I can measure off of. Strings are a very useful tool in construction. Okay, so it looks like our notch needs to be at 96 and 3/16. All right, now we just gotta repeat this once more. Okay, I'm at the point where I'm ready to start putting these pieces together. And last time I put the middle post up first, then I put the one that goes across in, and that was a real struggle. So I'm gonna try to put this one up first, and then put the middle one up. These are just like barely liftable. But I think I'm gonna try to get this one on the ladder. Just put this one up by hand, and then this one shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. That one went quite smoothly. Hopefully this next one goes the same. How about that? Now we're ready to measure and set our beam. Okay, I think I'm ready to try to set the beam. I got the excavator somewhat set up. It's a little bit tight quarters. I'm just going to set you up and we'll see what happens. Well, I didn't go exactly as planned, but it is up there. So I'm gonna get the skid steer. This machine is just too hard to use for lifting because the swing brake doesn't work, so it's swinging when you don't want it to, and the valve seeps. So if you try to leave it somewhere, you can't. It just immediately falls back down. So I'm gonna go get the skid steer, and we'll try to get this set the rest of the way. Hopefully, I can reach high enough with that. Okay, I got the skid steer in place. Now I gotta tip that beam back up, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that yet. Now I just gotta tip this back up. It's easier said than done. I try to do it by hand. It's not doable by hand. I'm gonna try to use a regis strap and get it up. If I get it up part way, I think I have to do it by hand. Yeah, how about that? I got something bigger out. We got the blue pill method, except for this time we're using brown pills. 3 brown pills. Let's see if we can do her. The pills did the trick. We're up. It's certainly not perfect, but yeah, it's better than it was. So we're moving in the right direction. Oh yeah. How about that? One side done, just gotta screw this thing on and hit the other side. The other side is not quite as good, but we'll get her figured out here. Try some good old-fashioned percussion on this side. All right, here we go. These screws are just temporary. That's not the only thing going to be holding this. They're just to hold it for right now. I got to re-square, level everything before I get this firmly attached. Because I'm sure it got jostled out of plumb and square when we're getting this up. All right, so all the posts are up and the beams are all up and ready to go. So now we're on to roof framing. And I think I'm going to end this video here and pick up roof framing in a different video because there's still a lot left to do and I don't want this video to get crazy long. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.